On. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time is a art blogger for Mechanical Dummy. Her name is Fairy Style Mother, who had a birthday just recently, and she's joining me right now. Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing real good, and your birthday was just yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Well, happy belated birthday, and I also hear you had a party on your birthday. How did that go?
Oh man, it was great. Everybody in Atlanta came out and showed me love. Shout out to the department store on Edgewood. They really threw me a really nice party. It was great.
Well, happy to hear that you had a happy birthday, and I wish you many more for sure. You are known for doing a blog for Mechanical Dummy. Talk about the blog and what's it about.
Well, it's Chris Brown's blog, and what I do is I run the art section. I kind of just find different, like, new, cool artists who don't have very much. We can do either artists who don't have a lot of exposure who are trying to get it, or some who already have it. And that's what I've just been trying to do. Find artists that don't have much exposure, who don't have the outlet, so that I can try to help them further their careers. And it's really cool because, like, Chris Brown really gives his interns and full creative control to kind of do whatever we think is best for the site, which is rare because a lot of people are kind of like one-sided, want you to do everything by the book.
Well, that's awesome to hear that in your blog in particular, you focus on unsigned artists and indie artists. Now, when it comes
hmm
to the artists in general, do you focus on R&B artists, pop artists, hip hop, or just anyone in particular?
It's actually anyone in particular. We don't just stop at music artists. As far as musicians, we do like artists who actually paint and anything that is art. We consider art is what we interview. So I've interviewed a singer. I've interviewed a painter. I've interviewed someone who makes clothes. Like just different. Like we over at Mechanical Dummy think art is everything. So we don't just stop at just musicians.
Speaking of interviews in particular, obviously I first heard of you through someone that you featured on your blog. Her name is Samantha WPG, and you had a feature on her on a blog. Talk about that blog and what was it like interviewing her?
She's such a sweet person. Like I really adore her, and she's so talented. I ran across her just randomly searching like art hashtags on Instagram, and I seen she did body painting, and I'm like, that's so cool. Like let me reach out to her to see if she can show me some more of her work. And when I reached out to her, she was so nice. Like she's very humble, and she's so talented, and that's rare to find people with so much talent like herself to be so humble because what I find with a lot of artists are they're full of themselves because they know they're good. But with Samantha, like she's just super humble and she's talented. Working on her, I'd like to work with people like her more often. Like she's amazing. I love her.
I definitely grown to love Samantha as well. As a matter of fact, I have talked to her on the last two challenge shows of 2014, and
hmm
I really wish that I could have had you and Samantha on at the same time, but at that particular time you had to work. So maybe in the future we can make that a reality. Uh,
Oh
so
yeah.
so you, Samantha, and myself, and we could talk a variety of things, and that is awesome. And for people that wants
For
to,
sure. That'd be great.
and for people that wants to, now for this blog that you have, is there a way you can subscribe, or is there a link that you have for people to check it out?
Yeah, everybody should just go to www.mechanicaldummies.com and everything is on there. We have art section, music section, fashion section. We have a segment on there called Young G's where it's just strictly camera interviews. Everything is on there. It's pretty simple, like straight to the point. I don't want anybody just go on there and just search one part. If you're gonna go on there, I think you should go and just kind of scroll through the whole blog. Like don't specifically just go to one section because everything on there is pretty dope.
I'll definitely go check your blog out for sure, and maybe the people that you have featured on your blog could very well be future guests on my show one day. I'll
Oh
definitely,
yes.
I'll definitely check that out, for sure. And I'm reading your Twitter bio, and it says you have a Karma Loop rep code.
Mhm.
So talk about this Karma Loop and exactly what is included that people can use your web code for. What's
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm a Karma Loop rep, and how it works is I signed up a while ago, but I guess it's all mostly for internet. They look at your internet presence, see what's happening, and they feel like if you have a following, then they'll give you a rep code. And how it works is you online shop on Karma Loop, and then at checkout, so you can receive a discount. Everybody loves discounts. You put in my rep code, and you will get 10% off your whole purchase. And you can keep using it over and over again. It's not just one-sided to where you can only use it once and it doesn't work again. Anytime you go on Karmaloop, feel free to type in my rep code FSM because you're going to get 10% off your purchase, which 10% works because it's better than nothing in Karmaloop, you know. It has nice stuff on there, so it's definitely worth using it. And then in the long run, for me, when people use it, us reps, when you use our rep code, we get, you know, instead of getting straight cash back, we would get what we call the Karma Loop points, and then you build a certain amount of points, and then we get stuff off Karma Loop. So it works for everybody.
so there you have it there. So not only that you can use this rep code, you can use it as many times as you want. There's no expire date. So help this lady out. She's not many people will give you their own web code or code for that matter, and
Mhm.
just hang on to it. Because we all know we shop online, we get these codes or whatever, and they expire once you use it, but not
Right.
yours. So everyone, go check that out. You can follow Fairy Style Mother on Twitter at the FSM. That's TheeFSM, and Instagram account is under the same name, and of course mechanicaldummy.com for her official blog website. Now, with the new year already here, you have any plans? You have any upcoming interviews coming up for your blog?
Yeah, this year I'm actually trying to start doing more live interviews because what I do more so of right now is just a lot of written interviews. So in the new year, I'm really going to try to knock out doing a lot of camera interviews. And if anyone is interested, in getting their work on the site, they're more than happy to follow me on Twitter and hit me up on Twitter, and we can work something out.
What I'm really trying to do more than ever is to network with people, and collaborate, if you will, whether it's
Mhm.
bringing like my listeners to your blog, or you bring your readers to my show or whatever, or we can go beyond that. Maybe we can, do some sort of collaboration and whatever we can do to make work. I'm definitely willing to talk things out, and see how where it could take both of us. So I definitely would like to network with you more often, with you, if that's something you're up for. Maybe we can work something out or whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm definitely looking forward to it for sure. Now, exactly, uh, as far as blogging is concerned, was this something you wanted to do for the get go, or was it something else you wanted to do prior to blogging?
You know, I actually had no idea I wanted to be a blogger until about a year and a half ago. I took a writing class in college, and I had like a really great professor. Like, she was super cool. Her name was Professor Koopman, and she was one of the younger teachers, and she just made writing fun. Like, I've always knew I can write, but she made it fun and interesting to where like you wanted to do it. And one day in class, she told us that she had a WordPress and she wanted us to go check it out. I think only a couple of us checked it out, but after I checked out her blog, I was just like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I want to do this. So then I started trying to blog, and I ended up falling in love with it because initially I thought I was going to get into more of simple, like just 9 to 5, maybe doing some PR work or some tattoo modeling here and there for the fun of it. And now I'm blogging, and I love it more than anything.
Do you have any influences of those that got you into blogging, or is it like celebrities? Is it like any local bloggers, anyone that stands out that really made you want to consider blogging?
Yeah, I would have to say I read a lot of blogs, but one of my favorites is gonna be this guy named Pat is Dope. He's younger, so like I really like when young people do work. I think it's great to see young people work. A lot of the older bloggers are kind of like stuck in their style. They've been doing it for a while, so their techniques in writing is different. With Pat is Dope, he just the way he writes and the way he makes things, it makes you want to read it, because one thing I don't want to do is be known for the blogger that kind of like talks about everybody and things like that. I don't want to be a negative blogger. And I know it as a blogger, maybe sometimes people will say that's your job, but with Pat, he shows you don't always necessarily have to talk mess about everyone, like to be a successful blogger. So I would definitely have to say he has been an influence on me in writing. But as far as my writing style, I kind of just go with my own flow. Like, however I'm feeling is how I write.
That's definitely great to hear. Cause there are some good bloggers, and I'm not just talking detail. Get into the info, doing the research and things like that.
Hmm.
There's good people behind making those blogs, and I feel like there are some bloggers that just the only thing they want is to get the views, is to get the recognition and things like that.
Right.
Do you get the sense that there are bloggers out there, even though that there's some good-hearted bloggers in there, saying they get a bad rap just because of other people that blogs and just really focusing on talking down on people?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like I've even people even asked me, well, hey, why don't you write, about when some, I'm just gonna give, I don't know. Okay, I'll give an example of like Nick Mills when he went to jail. Why don't you write about Nick Mills when he went to jail? And I'm like, what? I don't want to write about that. Like, I don't want to talk about somebody's troubles. So I really do think that bloggers do get a bad rap because of certain bloggers. And I mean, at first I would be mad, but I guess now it kind of comes with the territory. Like, you have to know what you're getting yourself into. People will be defensive with you. Just be like when you're doing an interview, people might think you're gonna start with them just because of another blogger started with them. So you have to be careful. But I mean, I guess it's all about showing and proving, showing that you're not them. Like, you're not that type of blogger if you're not that type.
Now, when you start working on these blogs, has there ever been a time when you like double read or double check? And I'm not just talking spell check or sentence that may not make sense. I'm talking like a certain sentence that you may say about the a person that you're referring to. Has there ever been a point of you working on these blogs and when you have any second guess as far as posting it, even though it may not come across negative, but people may look at it the one way?
I haven't had that happen just yet, but I'm not gonna say that it wouldn't happen, because anything is definitely possible. But it hasn't happened to me yet. I really try my best to like go over everything and try to make sure everything I try to read my blogs as if after I write them, I try to read it as the audience. I try to read it like I'm the person on the other side of the computer versus me being the one typing it. And that's what kind of helps me stay away from getting negative press or feedback.
So if you can have that dream interview on your blog, it could be anyone. It could be a celebrity. It could be someone that's on the rise, dead or alive. What would
Hmm.
that dream interview be?
I would have to say I would love to interview Kid Cudi. Like that would be my dream interview. Like that's just he's my favorite artist all around. Not necessarily just as far as music goes, but just he just seems like such a cool person, and he has so much to say, and it's never really anything crazy. I feel like he's just so true to himself, and that's why I respect him as a person and an artist because he's been the same person since he brought himself into the game, and he's still that same person now, and he's just he just seems like it would be a good interview. I watch a lot of his interviews online, and I'll read the like the magazine interviews he does, and he's just so goofy and cool and fun spirited, and that's hard to find.
That would be very interesting. I mean, Kid Cudi, he's 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 a beat to his own drum, and he's not gonna be shy of what he feels. So, I mean, that is a plus
Mhm.
for a lot of people, whether it's video interview or whether it's bloggers. That definitely helps when you're definitely gonna get the answers that even you, even the interviewer, maybe like, wow, this person really said that. He dug deep into on how he feel, and I've heard some Kid Cudi interviews myself, and he's something else. I'll tell you that for sure. Um, and Cudi, he's kind of he's been under the limelight for quite a while, and so
Mhm.
I wonder if he's gonna come back or not. But maybe he's just taking some time off the spotlight right now and trying to find the right time to get back. So I mean, we'll see. But Cudi will be a good look, that's for sure. Um,
For sure.
Now, what would your advice be to anyone that wants to become a blogger or a writer? What would your advice be to anyone that wants to at least consider blogging?
My advice is don't give up because being a blogger is very hard. Like getting into it's super hard. People think because it's just writing that you don't. I don't want to say don't deserve, but I feel like that's how they treat bloggers. You don't really deserve much of anything. You should just do it just to do it. And I know that kind of discouraged me at first. I was like, wow, like nobody believes in my work. Like nobody wants to pay me to write this. Do you know how long it takes me to do this? And I know that can be discouraging. So if anything, I would just say don't give up and really don't start and stop because that's what happens often too. A lot of bloggers will start writing and they'll see, well, this is not really helping me. It's not going anywhere, so I'm going to stop. Don't stop because everything is going to help. Every anything you do is going to help you in the long run because it's all about your resume. People don't believe that, but it takes a lot of groundwork and whatever you can write, write. Take any opportunities you get because it's a hard field to get into. So just don't. If you stay focused with yourself and believe in yourself, you'll be fine.
That's definitely well said. I mean, regardless of what you want to do, you have to know that in order to get to where you want to be, you have to know that it's not going to happen right away. It's going to take some time. It's going to take confidence. It's going to take just it's definitely going to take patience for sure, and the support. it starts from within. If you believe in yourself, then people are going to eventually believe in you, and you've made quite the name for yourself, and I give you a lot of credit for that. And I say, continue to do what you do, and continue to stay true to yourself, and only sky's the limit for you moving forward, and I'll say that for sure. Um, and That's definitely something to keep in mind of. Mechanicaldummy.com. Please check out the blog. Subscribe as well. Follow her on Twitter at the FSM. That's THEEFSM. Instagram name, also the same name. And for those that are interested in Tacoma Loop, go to their website and purchase whatever you want. And make sure once you check out, make sure you type the web code FSM, 10% off for your purchase, and it doesn't expire. You can purchase as much as you want and keep using it for as many times if you choose. So I know a lot of people usually have meanings behind their nicknames or stage names, but what made you
Mhm.
decide to call yourself Fairy Style Mother?
You know, it's really random. Um, I've tried to give myself a nickname my whole life, and it never really worked. So one day I was in the thrift store with my roommate, and she was like, "Oh, I want you to find me something to wear and style me." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. I could be your fairy style mother." And then an older lady just looked at me and was like, "That's good. You should keep that." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "That name, it's going to go somewhere." And I was like, "Wow, thanks. I was just joking." But it stuck with me after that, so I just ran with it, and it's so cool. Like, everybody likes it. I think it's cool. It was just, I don't know, it was just crazy that the random woman was just like, "No, that's going to be something. Keep that." When I was just joking, like playing around.
So, in other
So,
words, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess that happened. I guess it works in mysterious ways, and you stuck with it, and it's quite a unique name for someone, especially someone that is blogging. That'd be like
Mhm.
fairy style mother. I'm thinking. I guess the perception would be, okay, she's a mom. She wants to post blogs about mom related stuff, and then you turn a 360 on them. Like, wow, you okay? That's
Yeah.
that's what's up. With Fairy Style Mother, it was great chatting with you. Thank you so much for being on the show this evening. Continued success on the blog and any other projects you have in store. And like I said earlier, I look forward to network with you, and hopefully the people that are mentioned on Mechanical Dummy will be featured on this show in the future, for sure.
Yeah, that would be great.
So that being said, again, thank you for being on the show. You got any final words and shout outs you want to make?
Yeah, first I want to say thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And I guess just shout out to Mechanical Dummy and everyone who reads my blogs and stuff, and I hope you guys continue to read them. And just thanks for having me once again. I really appreciate it.
You are absolutely welcome, and continued success. You have